We are, according to the interweb,
All right.
we're good. Hit it.
I want a girl with a mind like a diamond. I want a girl who knows what's best. I want a girl with shoes that cut and eyes that burn like cigarettes. I want a girl with the right allocations, who's fast and thorough and sharp as a tack. She's playing with her jewelry. She's putting up her hair. She's touring the facility and picking up slack. I want a girl with a short skirt and a long jacket. I want a girl who gets up early. I want a girl who stays up late. I want a girl with uninterrupted prosperity who uses a machete to cut through red tape, with fingernails that shine like justice and a voice that is dark like tinted glass. She's fast and thorough and sharp as a tack. She's touring the facility and picking up slack. I want a girl with a short skirt and a long jacket. I want a girl with a smooth liquidation. I want a girl with good dividends. In Citibank, we will meet accidentally. We start to talk when she borrows my pen. She wants a car with a cup holder armrest. She wants a car that will get her there. She's changing her name from Kitty to Karen. She's trading her MG for a white Chrysler LeBaron. I want a girl with a short skirt and a long jacket. Pizza time.
Oh, it is Peter time. I was almost thought it was Peter time.
Hey.
You know, part of being the host of Canada's only late night talk show, part of it is doing my responsibility as a host of a program that people come to love and respect and listen to. Part of our job is to go out and see the world, make stories, make things happen, do crazy shit, get in a little bit of trouble, and sometimes we can't do enough of it. Charters and I tried our best in Atlanta.
Yeah, we did.
Sometimes we get people who did this stuff almost professionally, you know? We get in guests who've had experiences because they've done things we can only dream of. Tonight we have a guy, he's played not only one professional sport, but two professional sports. That's something that nobody gets to do. He did it twice. And that wasn't enough. He says, I'm going to be a firefighter. You know, those guys get all the pussy. And then he said, even that's not enough. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come on your program and I'm going to look you straight in the eyes, Pete Van Dyke, and I'm going to tell you that I'm a podcaster too.
Oh, no shit.
He's going to dominate that. That's the only thing I had on this guy. Nathan Perrott is here, everyone.
Yeah.
But there's only one way we can start talking to him, and that's, you know what that is, Dave?
What's that, Pete?
It's a theme song. Oh, you joining right in, Charters?
That was good, Pete.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3.
Hey,
It's coming. It's coming.
It
It's
was
coming.
theme song.
It's the theme song.
Oh, Charters.
Yeah.
Charters.
That was an unexpected move.
This
Hey,
is
that's
a real
really
letdown. We
smooth.
just nailed the whole opener, and then it was supposed to go, and then theme song.
Your
Charters.
transition is like seamless today.
Seamless. You guys ready?
Sure am.
There you go. It's so easy, and I miss it like consistently. I got one. All right. No, it goes in. Welcome everybody to Live from the Dutch Hall. We are Canada's only late night talk show and the greatest podcast ever to come out of a pool shed in Pine Grove, Ontario, bar none. And I believe we are that way because we have a band, the greatest band in Canadian late night history, the Nocturnal Emissions.
Yeah.
Comprised this week of a bear. He just made it on time, Michael Bowe.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Beside him on lead guitar, doing a great job tonight. Sitting in the middle, waving at Willie. That's Steve the Reluctant German, everyone. Let's hear it for him.
Stevie!
And in the corner tonight, he's taking his place where he belongs. The balls of the Nocturnal Emissions, plucking the bass. That's our good friend Whiskey Wes Hagens, everyone. Let's hear it for him. And of course, due to CRTC rules, we have our one Frenchman. He's the French tickler on drums. Kev Belange, everyone.
Hello.
And who's that guy on vocals and keys this week, you might ask? This was my travel companion for the weekend.
Was I?
He was my wingman. He is the man that writes the music for the show. Dave the Rooster Charters, everyone.
Happy to be here.
And beside him is the director, bartender, and all-around good guy. My brother Paul Van Dyke is here. Let's hear it for him. There he gets on camera. And our guest tonight, a longtime friend of the show. He's been a listener of the year one year. He's former NHL enforcer. He's the husband of my sister. He's the father of my niece and nephew. Brian Vandenbush is here, everyone.
Bushy!
Hey,
And beside him, two-time professional athlete,
Hey.
former professional hockey player, current professional boxer. I can't say enough about this guy. Nathan Perrott is here, lucky to be here.
And now, introducing your host for Live from the Dutch Hall. It's two-time President's Club Award winner, Pete Van Dyke, folks.
There we go.
Nice.
That's
How you
it. There we
doing?
go. There's spaces in there.
There was.
Yeah, but you know what? All the parts were killing it when we did the parts. I really liked it and hated it.
We had a little speed bump there in the middle.
It's a little dead air. But you know what? You're going to learn this in podcasting too, Nathan, is that, sometimes you suck. You just suck balls. But the stuff that we did good, we did really good. Right? Don't you think, guys?
Oh, yeah.
All in all, we whipped it together. No time flat. We're putting on a show. But we have to get to it. We have some big stories we want to get to on the show because Charles and I just came back from a weekend in Atlanta. We promised you stories. We can deliver.
Let's have them.
We can deliver, but we're going to save it for the end of the show because we have a special guest that's here, and he's got to get going to another event. He's very popular.
He's a busy man.
So we're going to introduce our guests, Ryan Vandenbush and Nathan Perry. Let's all give them a nice round of applause. Now, Nathan, you are a newbie this is your cherry popping visit to the Dutch Hall, and you come down to Norfolk County very often.
I've visited Ryan a couple times now. I went to Bushstock.
And that's where we met. We met briefly around a campfire, had a nice chat, had no idea who you were, and then you introduced yourself, and then I was like, hey, I remember watching you play. I was like a fan of watching you play hockey, you know. But I had a nice chat with you before that around the fire, and do you remember that at all?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, yeah?
I think I was having a few beers that night, so
Yeah.
I don't remember everything we talked about.
That's possible.
Do you remember Charters around the campfire playing his guitar?
Yeah, oh yeah.
And there was a real guy being a dickhead to him at the time. Do you? He was like
Was this the first bush stock or the second bush stock?
second, right? It was the last
Like
one.
last year?
Yeah, the Trues one.
No, you were at.
No,
Oh, you weren't at the Trues one? Oh, it was the one
it was
before that.
Before that, yeah.
Oh, yeah, the one before that. I remember, and there was a guy who was like kind of like a surfer-looking guy, and he was kind of like seemed like he might have been on something, and he was being critical of Charters, and I think you took exception to it, eh? That you took exception on behalf of a guy that looks like Charters, who like they had no business sticking up for him. You know, he might have had it coming. He looks like he's had it coming.
He brings it on himself.
I remember you coming to me that night and saying, "Bushy, I almost beat the shit out of someone at your party."
Oh, really?
Did I really?
And it wasn't you, Charters. It wasn't you. It was
I was oblivious to all of it. I was just having
He was sticking up for you.
Oh,
yeah,
thanks
it was
a lot, man.
In your honor, Charters. In your honor.
That's amazing.
Nathan Perrott, the enforcer for professional hockey clubs, including your beloved Toronto Maple Leafs, was
Wow.
going to be your enforcer because
That's amazing.
some guys may addict your.
I got a new story for work tomorrow, don't I?
Don't you? Right. That's something that makes you feel a little bit better, right?
You're goddamn right.
That's a professional enforcer that almost enforced for you, right?
I really appreciate that.
So how do you like? I always am curious because we've been lucky enough. I think the most interesting people in hockey are guys that are on the fourth line or backup goalies. Those are the two guys that get the job due to character, which is and talent. It's always a two, right? Like it's always the two. But those guys get it on character, so they're more interesting to talk to because they're character guys. They're the guys that's their strength to get that job and keep the job is because they're like solid people. Would you agree with that assessment?
Oh yeah, like when you have to fight to get any ice time, like literally fight. You know,
Yeah.
you gotta sit there for 20 minutes between shifts. And I remember Coach tapped me on the shoulder, "Go get us some energy." And you're like, I've been sitting here for 20 minutes. I can barely stand up right now.
Yeah,
And
my
you
legs
gotta,
are
like,
cold.
You
and-
know, you find ways, but you become the defender of your teammates and the team, and you have to have a solid character to do that. Someone.
But
takes
when
the
you
cheap
were-
shot at you guys.
when you were like a young kid, Nathan, like did you play hockey and were you like a skilled guy? Were you like quite a bit more skilled than the rest of your team, or were you?
I was brute force. Like I took the puck, I went straight down the ice. I just run guys, and then I'd be able to go to the net. And shoot.
Just-
I had a hard shot, and I'd score. Like I scored a lot. Like Bantam years, I had 60 goals both years, and I actually scored 30 goals in the O.
You must have had great hands too to be able to go through guys like that and come out with the puck. You got to be able to,
Yeah.
I
Brute
just-
force.
Yeah, I tried to use intimidation. Where
Yeah.
like the puck was scared to leave.
The guy is abnormally strong.
Oh yeah.
Because I think and you might find it to be true with you too, Ryan. And it seems to be that like a lot, like you can't make it to the like when you're in the NHL, you're one of 700 people in the world that get to do that. Like and regardless of your path or your role or whatever, even if your role is that of an enforcer, there's even less of those. There's maybe only 30 or 60 of those people in the world that get to do that job, right? Like so, like it's really like a specific company, But at one point in time, all of those guys were the best on their team, or like skilled, or getting a lot of goals, like you said. And then at one point in time, you have to kind of change your strategy on how you're going to be able to keep doing it for a living, right?
Yeah, like when I was playing junior B hockey, I just barely made the team that year, and the only reason I did was because I fought. A friend of mine, he was like, "Nathan, you got to fight today. You're gonna get cut." And so I ended up fighting the oldest guy. I was playing in St. Mary's, and the guy was he was like 20 years old, 6'4" guy, and I ended up doing really well in the fight and winning convincingly. And then it's just kind of that's what I did.
That was like preseason kind of.
Yeah,
like,
it was an exhibition game. Yeah.
So by the time you got to junior, which said B,
Yeah, I was in junior B. Yeah.
Junior B, then that's when you assume that role. But
Yeah, because I played junior C the year before in Walkerton, and we had like ridiculously tough team, and I fought a couple times, but I didn't have to. Right? I was 15 years old, and we had like the guy named Mike Bajorny, and he played in the Quebec Senior League. I think he's in what movie about the Quebec Senior League.
Oh,
But
really?
He's on the Chiefs, but he like, and there was
Oh,
like
yeah.
countless guys on this team that would fight, right? And
Yeah.
we weren't a great team, but if you wanted to watch some entertaining hockey,
Yeah.
and a couple, well, I
was
guess
tough.
some entertaining fights and a little bit of hockey in between, it was good.
So so then you kind of change your role, and then that becomes your focus. And so then you, at some point in time, you must have it in yourself that you as a kid saw that the people playing hockey in the big leagues, and did you see that it was a possibility for you as a kid from Owen Sound or whatever, or from?
I didn't even think of it as a career. I was just kind of playing hockey and loved playing hockey. And when I got drafted to Oshawa, I remember I was sitting in the stands. I was like, I didn't think I was going to get drafted like the 4th round, and I was writing down the names in a little book for a keepsake.
Yeah.
And
Were you wearing a suit?
I was actually,
Yeah,
I was, and I was waiting for the listen to the name be called, because the guy that was drafted right before me had a really big long name, and writing it down. I'm listening, and all of a sudden it's my name, right? And I was like, I didn't even register. I'm still writing down this name. I'm like, wait a second, that's me. And I'm like, where do I go? I didn't have a clue what I was supposed to do. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Followed the guy before me, but yeah, it was pretty funny.
That is, and then once you get that opportunity, then it's just a matter of trying to do your best, right?
Yeah. And then that year I was playing with Oshawa. I didn't no idea I'd get drafted to the NHL, and the general manager was Wayne Daniels, and he was like, Nathan, do you have an agent? And I was like, not really. I think he's in jail, actually. It's a funny story, but yeah, my first agent ended up in jail, so I had to. He was like, no, I don't think I have one anymore. But he's like, well, you're gonna need one. You're probably gonna get drafted. You're gonna get drafted to the NHL. You're gonna need representation and stuff.
Wow,
I got a few guys I can introduce you to and stuff. So I was like, oh, it's kind of like, oh, really? I guess I could do this for a living. It's kind of neat.
Man, that is such a better way to do it than like any of the, I mean, that is the dream way to do it, right? Like, isn't it? Versus like going to like minor hockey, like in summer camps, and the goal when you're like parents, like instilling this in that you're gonna do, and then that becomes a pressure thing, where you got to enjoy hockey and just like play hockey, and you just play hard because that's what you do. And then it worked out, right?
Yeah. I was lucky. Like, I wasn't skilled enough to be like a first line guy in the NHL or whatever. But I worked hard, and I hit hard, and shot the puck well. But I mean, it was more just running around trying to kill people. To tell you the truth. That's what I literally liked hitting.
But there has to be something else too. Like, you must have been a coachable guy too. Like, you must have been willing to adjust your game, obviously, willing to play your role on the team, willing to sit or be a scratch sometimes. I imagine.
You got to assume your role. There's nothing you can do to control it. All you can do is control what you do when you're out there, right? Be ready for your next shift. But, listening is the key, though, to be a hockey player. If you don't have the ability to listen, And when I was young, I was a bit of I don't know, ADD or something. I didn't really listen when I was young.
Yeah.
But I never I was always playing house league until I got to Bantam hockey, because I wasn't really coachable until I figured it out later. But I gotta listen, and
wow,
once you get that, then
that's a really cool story, though, eh? Yeah. About how that and that is, but that lesson though, to listen, and I learned this from Ryan actually when I went to watch Ryan in Chicago when he was playing for the Blackhawks. He went to practice, and was hoping to play that night because we had come to watch him or whatever, and he was told he wasn't going to play. And I still remember, like, he was the last guy on the ice and talked with the coach the longest, and you could tell he was asking lots of questions of what he can do to make sure he can to improve so he can be on the ice next time or whatever. And I'm like, there was really, I really found that impressive, because I was like, that's probably how he gets to have that job, is because, even in the face of disappointment, he doesn't bitch about it. He finds out how he can become better.
I was just happy to be there. I had great seats if I wasn't playing. I had great seats if I was up in the stands by the organ.
That is a good point, eh? It's not bad. And
it was a fun ride.
Yeah. Yeah, but at the time, it's hard to put it in perspective. Like you have to have a certain amount of maturity to be able to let your ego, let you put your ego aside and say like I just have to do my job, you know. Like 'cause some people would not have that. Like in the highly skilled guys, you'd find more like have to manage personalities. I would imagine.
Oh, totally. Like you get guys like there's some first, second, third rounders that are used to being the star of the show every game, and then when they get to the NHL, it doesn't matter. I mean, it's who's playing the best is going to get the opportunity, and if you're one of those guys that aren't getting your opportunity, it's we know a couple of guys that just had a drip lip. They didn't get what they wanted, they didn't get the ice time that they wanted, or they didn't play. They were a healthy scratch, and then they just feel sorry for themselves afterwards.
Basically cut
Yeah, and
themselves.
if you guys did
Yeah.
that, and you that shortens your career
Yeah,
a
you just
lot.
don't want to be a downer,
Yeah.
right?
I remember last year, Marner, Babcock was talking about Marner, and Marner's ice time was getting cut back, and he got moved back to the third line or maybe in the fourth line, and the press was asking him about it. Marner not getting his ice time and whatever, and Babcock said, like, what are you telling him? And he said, you got to worry about the ice time you're getting, not the ice time you're not getting.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. Well, that's what I used to help out with the Own Sound Attack, and I would tell the kids, I said, because they'd always come in and ask for more ice time. I could play so much better if I got more ice time. I said, well, you do better with the ice time you're getting, and you're going to get more ice time.
Yeah.
That's it. Do better with what you're getting, and you'll get more. Right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah. That's the same thing even in stand up. Like if you get 3 minutes, then just kill for those 3 minutes. If you get 5, you take your 5. You get 20, you take your 20.
That's what your sister tells me too.
Oh, you son of a bitch! I'm not afraid.
You got 3 minutes.
Dig in.
I just wanted to say another interesting thing I just want to touch on before you have to go is that you went from being you made it like a lot of kids. You ended up playing for your were you a Leaf fan growing up?
Oh yeah, they struggled when I was watching them in the '80s, but I loved the Leafs. Right?
Those are like the Harold Ballard years.
Yeah. But
Wendell Clark.
Wendell Clark. He's one of my favorite players for sure. They're amazing.
Yeah. And so that you achieve that, and then at the end of your career, you make a decision to go into boxing, right? Or how's that come about?
So I was out in Santa Monica one summer training, and I was working out of this boxing gym. Bob Dylan owns it, and
Oh, really?
it's down in the bottom of this coffee shop, right? And the trainer there, he used to do camps for Sugar Ray Leonard, and he was telling me, he said, Nathan, you could be a pro boxer. And I was like, yeah, whatever. And then I went to training camp in New Jersey that year, and he told me about a guy I'm good friends with now, this guy Mark Pudvink, and he was a strength coach for the New York Rangers at one point, and he would take me around to the boxing gyms after I was done, trying out with the Devils, and I got to meet Tommy Brooks and a few other like big name trainers and stuff.
Yeah.
And I started, and he's like, yeah, you should come down and box. And I was like, yeah, whatever. And then I was playing hockey in Russia, and it was actually before I went to Russia, I couldn't get a contract because they'd sent me back. So I started just amateur boxing for fun and to stay in shape.
Yeah.
And did pretty good at it. And then so I went down to Jersey and started training down there and went pro, and I had a couple fights. My first 2 fights were in Philadelphia, and then I learned out pretty quick. Like the second fight, I learned out pretty quick. It's not an easy sport at all, but I love the sport. I'm not great at it. I just I compete hard, and I
have
like to fight,
I have so much respect. I watched your third fight, against the big Russian.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, that is unbelievable. Like I was so. You took that one straight right, and then at one point in time, you see he's just kind of like gives a bit of a fake, and you had that stutter step back, and you're like, this guy's getting fucking hit hard, man. That big monster is like.
I found out probably about 5 minutes before the fight, I found out that he was a southpaw. I was told that he was orthodox the whole way. I did. I probably trained, I think I did about 30 hard rounds of training, like of sparring.
Yeah.
And they were all with orthodox fighters. So I go into the fight, and the one trainer went and looked. He's like, yeah, he's a southpaw. And I'm like, oh, this is good. So I have no fight plan. I'm going to go in here and fight this monster. And he was a big, tough guy. He was tough.
And you went in on him at the beginning and stuff. Like you were like, it was good. Like that's just a different skill set. Like it's not like you think the two would translate. You can fight in hockey, box, but it's like comparing a sprinter to a marathon runner. You know?
Yeah, that's funny. We were talking about
Yeah.
that today.
How did the
eh?
training differ from training for
Oh,
hockey?
yeah, it's the training is a lot of hours, right? You gotta, like, practice your technique. Like, it's all technique, right? And staying relaxed, and you have to do it over and over and over and over again. Like, I was working out probably 2-3 times a day back when I first started getting into it, just
Yeah.
to really get the technique down. And I still did. Like, even when I get into like you kind of revert back to your hockey fighting. Like, I don't know, you're revert back to the form of your worst training, but like hockey fighting does not help you that much with boxing.
There's
like,
no jersey. There's no jersey to pull over his
yeah.
head.
You're all covered in Vaseline.
What hurts more, getting hit in boxing or hitting hockey?
Oh, my second fight, that was the hardest I ever got hit. That John Bolden guy, man. He's about 6'7", and I was winning the fight. I had him back in the corner, and I dropped my left hand, and he threw a big overhand right and landed right in my temple.
Oh.
Man, I wasn't right. I couldn't talk right for 2 weeks. I was just like slurring, and
Jesus.
yeah, it was bad. My kids were making fun of me. And yeah, it was bad. Yeah, I got hit hard that time. But,
So, and then above all this, you still find time to be a firefighter as well?
yeah, that's my gotta pay the bills, right?
Yeah,
So, yeah. I actually work at Bruce Power, the nuclear station, as a firefighter. It's a pretty cool place to work. The only problem is it's up there, it's north, right? Like, it's
Yeah.
like 2 hours. Well, it's probably from here. It's like 4 hours, I think.
Yeah,
But
4 hours. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's about right.
Up there, yeah.
So,
Nathan's got a kid that plays the London Knights.
oh yeah,
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, my oldest son. Yeah, he's got drafted last year to them.
that's great, man. And how old is he then? Like 18?
No, he's 16.
Oh, 16
Yeah.
they can draft.
Wow.
All right, I guess right. It's the 18 for the NHL, right? Is
Yeah.
that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so his NHL draft year is 2019.
Well, it's just a little after 10, and I know you have to get going to.
Yeah, I got a little bit of time.
You do have a little bit of
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Okay, because I didn't want to make you guys late for anything, but I do have a couple more questions. And first of all, I did want to ask one thing. Like a lot of the questions I've asked at this point in time, have they been hacked? Have you heard them all before? Are they mostly common? Like you have a certain story, so people must ask you the same story every time you go, right?
Yeah. Well, sometimes I don't do a whole lot of interviews anymore. Once in a while they'll ask. I guess last year when I was promoting my last fight, I did a couple, but
Yeah.
it was they usually get who's the toughest guy you fought. That's usually the.
Yeah, that's
I was asking Ryan about that earlier because I said you get asked that a lot because that seems to be what everyone wants to ask. Who's the toughest guy? And the one thing I know is they were all tough. Sometimes I got lucky, sometimes I didn't.
Yeah.
And
It could have easily have happened to you if it went the other way, you know.
exactly.
Yeah,
Did you ever fight Ryan?
I did in Nashville. Yeah.
Oh, really?
I just bear hugged him.
After we were teammates, we were
Where were you guys teammates?
Chicago and Indianapolis.
You worked at a
and-
lot. You played at a lot of the same barns,
Yeah.
right? Like Albany. Did you both play Albany? No. Did
we
you?
both played in Cleveland?
Norfolk?
but- No, not Norfolk.
You didn't play Norfolk?
Yeah, I was in Norfolk. I don't think you didn't go down.
No.
You were up the whole year.
Oh.
Yeah.
What
But we were in
about-
training camp in Chicago like 4 or 5 years together.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We were both right wingers, right? Fourth line right wingers.
Yeah,
Fighting
fighting
for the
for
same
Oh,
sky.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and you
But
fought-
never in tryouts.
No,
Oh,
we
never in
did
tryouts, no?
tryouts.
No,
No.
no,
No.
no.
No, we never did, yeah.
You
We always
guys-
got along really good.
Yeah, you have
like
always.
that, so.
But you've had to fight. Have you had to fight friends of
Oh,
yours
yeah.
then? Because you fought a lot of Ryan's friends. Because I know I watched it on YouTube today. Jamie Allison, you fought.
Oh, he broke my face.
Really?
Yeah. It was funny because I got called up and fought him, and earlier that year we fought an exhibition game. And I kind of suckered him. It was a cheap punch. After I apologized to him because I know Jamie well too.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I'm not great friends with him, but like what I mean,
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
acquaintances,
yeah.
right? And I apologized. It's like he's like, Nathan, what was that? And I was like,
Yeah.
I know, sorry. It was linesman kind of came in anyway.
So you owed your receipt.
Yeah, he did, and he got it. We were going toe to toe, and we're both like I throw lefts, and he's
Yeah.
throwing lefts, and the camera angle it was terrible. You don't see me throw a punch, but you can just see him beating my face in. It was awesome. Anyway, but he broke my orbital bone, and there was like this thick line of blood from the center of my eye all the way to the corner, right? And it was there for months, but I didn't say anything. I should have had a steel plate put in or something because you can feel where it's all messed up right there. But
Oh yeah.
yeah, that was the only time I ever had a bone broken in my face. I think, other than my nose, that broke all the
Yeah.
time. But yeah.
I always think it's funny. One time I asked Ryan how many times he broke his nose, and he said this year. That's what his answer was. You guys both fought Brashear, right? Did you both fight Brashear? And he's does boxing too, I think. And
He did
or
MMA. Yeah, he
MMA.
was doing MMA for a bit. Yeah.
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 he was a greasy fighter to watch. He was always a bear hugger. He never let you do nothing.
He went through phases. He started off as a bear hugger in the minors, and then I think he changed his style. And then near the end of his career, he's bear hugging again.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
because I think he got some concussions from what I understand. I don't know if that's true
Oh,
or
yeah.
not, but like you start getting hit with some hard punches,
And you don't want to
and
do it
you
anymore.
kind of changes your style a bit.
Yeah, no doubt.
You're like, wait a second. Yeah, maybe not Ryan though, right?
I was always told
just
you
throw.
can't fight like that, Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan was the best. You're the best at taking him, I think, that ever
I
lived.
was a brawler.
He had-
Give it, take it.
The year we played in Indy, it's some of the best fights I ever seen. Like he went toe to toe with Mel Engelstad in Kalamazoo one night. It was by far the best fight I've ever seen. Just throwing bombs at each other. You could just see him. Just both of them were connecting. Like just right in the face. You could hear the smack from the bench, and all of a sudden Ryan caught him at the end, right in the chin, and dropped him. But they probably both took about, I don't know, 12 to 15 solid punches in the face. I was like, oh my goodness, I don't.
Yeah.
But he won. It was a good fight.
Yeah.
For watch shows now, I feel like I get a headache when I watch them.
Yeah, you probably still have a headache, so yeah. Yeah, so I got like, what else? There's one. I want to do one thing. So because you get those questions all the time. Those are the easy ones, right? So now I wanted to ask you questions that you've never been asked before. Okay? I have to get 3.
Okay.
Okay? And you guys can pipe in. If I strike out, first question, okay? You have to tell me if you've been asked this question before, you don't have to answer it.
Okay.
Okay? Which Muppet would you most compare yourself to? Muppet.
Which Muppet?
Muppet.
Oh, gee, that's a good question.
Yeah? You have time to
No,
think.
I
You got
haven't,
anything
I haven't
of
seen
music?
the Muppets in like. since
You
I
might
was-
need to I can give you some names. There's
Yeah.
Ralph,
yeah.
and then there's Kermit the Frog, Miss Piggy, Fozzie,
Swedish Chef.
Animal,
That's right.
Those two old guys at
Beaker.
the opera.
Yeah. There's that
Yeah.
Fozzie Bear. Did I do Fozzie Bear?
Fozzie Bear. That's what I think I like.
Fozzie Bear?
There you
Okay.
go.
No, it never been asked before.
Fuzzy.
Never been asked. that
Okay,
question.
next question. Please quickly rank the order in which you'd like to bang the Golden Girls. To remind you, there's the one Blanche. She's
Yeah.
like the slutty one,
She's the
Yeah.
hooah.
and then there's Betty White, who's like the ditzy one.
Yeah, yeah.
Then there's the old lady, Estelle Getty. She's like the mom of B. Arthur, who's kind of the man.
Yeah, yeah. So I'll go with the old one there first.
Oh, I like it. He likes spirit and
Veteran
spunk.
Veteran move.
Yeah.
Yeah, then Betty White.
Yeah.
And then what's with the Blanche?
Yeah, Blanche.
And then I'll do Blanche a second time. Leave B. Arthur.
That's a perfectly answered question. That is a perfectly answered question. I really enjoyed
Blanche
that.
would go twice, I think.
Final question. Also, you've never been asked that before, right?
No.
Okay, and final question. Toilet paper, should it go over the top or along the bottom?
Depends if you got cats, right?
Ah,
Wow.
again. A very insightful answer. I usually don't like, but it's a very
Never heard that answer before.
I
He's
never-
never heard the
That's a
question,
good
and I've never heard
answer.
that answer before.
Yeah, it was so quick, and it totally changed my whole way of thinking because I'm a big over guy, but I have a cat.
Does he not pull it down?
Yes, he does.
Put it under, and he won't be able to pull it down.
God damn it! I've been thinking wrong this whole time. That's why we play this game, right? That's why we do the game.
So we're learning, right?
Wow. Well, anyways, that's great. We have Chutters and I went on a big road trip this last weekend, and I always think about you guys that get to play in the NHL, and like if you get to go on like 40, how many 41 road trips, road games, right? So that's technically 41 guys' nights out, right? Right?
Yeah. Plus exhibition.
So like a
plus
normal
playoffs.
guy like me could do it like once a year maybe. I get away with it where I can do something stupid with my buddy Dave and like I just did. And then But you guys could do it like 40 times. So the stories you must have are like crazy, right? Like way more than the average person. Plus you all had money. Plus you all had all these things, right?
But how many times out of the 40 the away games?
Does it ever wear off? Does it ever wear off where it's not cool? Like for us, can you? Because you have a real job and everything now, Nathan, right? You're a very normal person now, right? Kinda. And then but you know how to get away from the kids and go out and just do something fun, like when you have all this stuff going on in life. That doesn't happen very often. It's pretty exciting now.
Yeah.
But when you were young and it happened all the time, there was ever a time you didn't really appreciate it like you would.
Well, we're mostly like airport,
Yeah.
arena,
Right.
hotel, airport.
That's what I was gonna say. How
when
many
you're-
times did you actually get to let it like? Not that you're allowed,
Yeah,
but
you
you
get the
guys.
green light.
How many like? How many out of?
When we were in Chicago, they didn't have their own plane, right? So we had to fly commercial. You remember that?
Oh yeah.
And so
you'd
every
stay
city that we
over.
went into, we stayed overnight in. So, and you left the next morning.
Right.
So you can fly commercial past 11 o'clock.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
That's what
so
I'm talking
those days were like really rough
You could-
because, after the game you go out.
Just
and,
do whatever.
You know, you have a bite to eat and you just, I mean, it could be a Tuesday, whatever. And
It's fun like at first, right? Like it would be really fun at first.
Yeah, it gets old real fast
I
because
bet.
it's tiring.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
then
yeah,
then they
you
got
just
then the 9/11 happened, right? And then
Right.
they made it mandatory the NHL to each charter their own planes.
Right.
And so we were in the city game, on the bus to the airport, gone.
Oh, okay.
Home that same night. But then
Same
you
night,
know,
eh?
road trips. yeah.
Would you get like
Yeah.
the nights that you could go, maybe go out and have a few more? Is that when you had like an extra day off? If you're lucky, you had another day off, and then you could say, okay, tonight we're gonna go out after the game because
Yeah.
maybe we just got to practice or whatever tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah. It's usually they kind of let you know when a good.
They
time
give you a
is.
heads up.
Yeah,
Usually
they-
you're winning at that
That's what
time.
I'm
I
saying.
assume.
They get the
Yeah.
green light and away you go. I remember one time. I'll tell a story. I was playing, and we had lost 15 games in a row. We went from first in the league when we were in Indy, right?
Who's this with? Indy?
Indianapolis, yeah. And we went from first to last place. And we were playing a game in Vegas, and we went in the shootout. And everyone's sitting there waiting. And we have a game the next afternoon in Utah. And we're flying out like 6:30 in the morning. And everybody's waiting for the coach to come and call curfew. And he walks in and he says, "You know what, guys? Sometimes you got to know how to play guilty." And then walked out.
No way.
Yeah. And it was funny, though, because our goalie, it was Jeff Sargent, he was the only guy that didn't go out. And he absolutely stood on his head. I think he made 45, 48 saves the next day. We had 12 shots on net. We ended up scoring. One got, I don't even know how it went in. It was just lucky goal. We ended up winning the game 1-0.
got the win.
Yeah, we got the win.
Coach just looks like a genius too. eh?
Yeah, it was a rough game, though. It was rough.
That's funny.
Have you ever gotten so bad in practices where you have to cycle yourself back on the line? You can't like even do a drill.
Just like hide in the corner.
You're
No, you go ahead.
yeah. Spray yourself with some water so it looks like you're sweating.
Yeah. That was Charles and I on the Sunday of the music festival we went to.
Oh
Yeah,
God,
we were just trying to fucking
that's the
get
longest
through a
day ever, man.
Oh, why did we show up early to the park that day? That's the one day we show up for the entire thing.
Because we couldn't stay in the hotel anymore.
Yeah,
was
smelled like
horrible.
tequila.
How many bands you guys see?
Oh, a lot, man.
Yeah, I don't know, 20 maybe.
Really?
There's probably 60 at the festival. But we saw a bunch. Yeah.
Now, did you bounce
15.
around a bit, or like obviously bounce around, but like
Yeah.
full sets, or like
Yeah, it was super cool because the way they had it set up, they had two main stages, and it was like they would alternate 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour kind of thing all day. So you would like one band would finish, and you walk over. It was like an exodus to the other stage.
yeah,
Yeah, and then they had like two smaller stages that would work the same way. So,
like
on the other end of the
they're
park.
offset,
Yeah,
so that you
offset.
could see everybody if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We went once to a tent and we saw Andrew WK. Do you know Andrew WK?
Yes.
Let's get a party started or whatever.
He's got
right?
the picture of him
Or with
his
the bloody
punched
face.
in. Yeah.
You know him? Anyways, that guy has a following.
He
eh?
had a huge following. Everyone in the crowd knew all the chants and all the.
Yeah, people were going crazy for
Yeah.
that one. And then we saw, but that was the only one we saw there that was any good, right?
I think so. I feel that way. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's kind of a blur, to be honest.
A lot of it is. A lot of it is. We don't want to spoil it though. Okay, it's 10. It's 10:15. You still cool?
Yeah, I could be a little late.
Okay.
All right, we're good. We're good.
I just didn't want to go. We do have We do have a segment that we call feedback. We got feedback. You mind if we get to it?
We got feedback. It's feedback. It's motherfucking feedback.
That's a nice touch. That's a nice touch. Welcome to Feedback. We got feedback, everybody. This week's feedback is brought to you by our good friends at Amazon. If you'd like to, please go to our Live from the Dutch Hall website and make sure your ad blockers are off, and then you can do your Amazon shopping, and a little bit of that money will come back and help the show. And we've used all the money to buy all this equipment that makes this happen, so thank you to everybody that does it. And thank you to everyone who's provided us with feedback, because you telling us the little things that you think we can make better, it does actually make us work hard during the day. Kevin came in early and been working all the time to try to help our sound, and we're going to keep doing it until. So thank you to everybody who told us that. Number one, we didn't shut our cameras off last week.
Yes, thank you.
And I've fixed that problem. Thank you to the 7 people. And then also thank you to everyone that says that they couldn't hear something, because we were fixing it. Anyways, you know, who else we got to get to? We have to get to who's our next sponsor? Oh, Norpac.
The beef people.
Norpac.
The beef people.
Norpac.
The beef people.
You heard it 3 times. You heard Norpac.
The beef people.
That's the 4th, right? You gonna hear it again?
The beef.
I didn't
people.
say it. I didn't
Oh,
say
it's
it.
like Simon says.
Oh, man.
I didn't say
You're so
Norpac.
good, Paul.
The beef people.
There you go. -1, but the rest of it was. I'll give you 4 out of 5, Paul. 4 out of 5. Good. And now the only other person we have to talk to is Van Dyke Party Services. You know, it's getting to be a busy time of year.
It's
May
that
2
time.
for a weekend is coming up. What do you?
Weather's nice.
Yeah. What do you do? What you go out and you maybe you want to go to the lake? You want to go? You want to go open your cottage? I don't know. What do you got going on in your life? You want to go maybe to do a hike or some bullshit?
Celebrating the Queen's birthday?
Huh?
Stretch your legs.
Yeah. You want to rejoice in an old dead British woman who treated poor people like shit. That's
Light
your
off some
choice.
Fireworks.
That's your choice. Oh, fireworks! It's awesome fun. You know, it's great. Hanging with a bunch of people and blah blah blah. I don't know. It's cool and stuff. But you know what make it better, Paul?
5 and 29 Van Dyke first cousins.
Yes, between 5 and 29 Van Dyke first cousins, and they will come as long as you give us an email, livefromthedutchhall@gmail.com. We will send you those between 5 and 29 Van Dyke first cousins, and whatever you're doing May 2 for, it's just got way better. You're gonna have the time of your life, and all it's gonna cost you is $100 of cold hard cash plus all of our expenses, which will be very dear.
Oh, yes.
Ooh, it's gonna cost you a bunch that weekend, but you're gonna have the time of your life. And if you're not 100% satisfied, we'll give you that $100 back, no questions asked. But those expenses have run through our bodies and potentially yours. Van Dyke Party Services,
Don't live your life in regret.
brought to you by Clean Flow.
Best sponsor ever.
Clean Flow,
Yeah.
what up?
Best sponsor ever, except for one thing, Clean Flow, you forgot. You put your money on the wrong horse, betting on charters to write commercials for you. That's what you did wrong, Clean Flow. This guy has come up dry week after week, just like he did at the weekend. I said, whatever I do, charters has to top. Whatever I do, charters has to top. Remember? And then I'll top charters, and it'll
Right.
keep getting better. Well, I topped him. I won.
Yeah, you did win.
Cleaned up.
did.
What has he got? Nothing.
Where's the videos of the cartwheels?
Cartwheels. That was I did push-ups with a bum. Does that count?
No.
That's true.
I have
That's an
a video.
athletic.
Pretty good.
I have a video of that.
Something.
Did you beat him?
Yeah, I could kick his. I would have kicked his ass.
That guy was the best.
He was a good guy though.
He's
Yeah.
an awesome guy.
Anyways, I think we have to get to one last person. She gives us feedback each and every week because she listens in her cheese shop in Delhi
Oh.
called the Second Mouse.
It's delicious.
Her name's Teresa, and we call her the Cheese Lady. Let's check on her.
Yeah, we're checking on the cheese lady, on the cheese lady, checking on the cheese lady. She's always on the run. Checking on the cheese lady, on the cheese lady, checking on the cheese lady. She's always having fun. Checking on the cheese lady, on the cheese lady, checking on the cheese lady. Always on the run. Checking on the cheese lady, on the cheese lady, checking on the cheese lady. See what she's done.
All right, all
What's
right.
up, Teresa?
Well, thank you very much, Teresa, for every week going on Podbean and giving us some feedback.
Peter Gesser.
this week. Oh, I want to say, what's the podcast called, Nathan?
It's a
Barnburner.ca. Look up the barnburner.ca.
Check it out.
Nathan Perrott. The Breakaway. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
They do it right? And thanks to Ryan Vandenbush for coming in. Thanks a lot, Nate. I really appreciate it. Hope you had a good time. Yeah. See you, Ryan. Thanks a lot.
Nice to meet you.
See you, Nathan. Thanks for sticking up for me at Bush Talk.
I don't remember, but
Me neither.
It's good enough backup, I bet.
Thanks again.
Later, guys.
Boy, oh boy. I wouldn't fight either of them.
No. I'm glad we're friendly with them.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice guys.
Yeah, it's good friends to have.
Yeah, you do not want to be on the other side of those. They'd run right through both of us.
Oh, yes.
Crush our bones.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Holy mackerel. Okay. Time to...
It's a cheese lady.
saying.
Oh, the cheese lady.
Yeah.
The cheese lady says, you know what? This is the thing about charters, eh? Women love them. And Teresa says, Pete, you're being too tough on charters.
Oh, fuck charters.
Life is too short for diets, is what she said.
Yeah.
And let's give them more cheese. Give them some of that cheddar that she's promised you. Give them the cheddar that Grandma's going to be proud of you, right? And everything's going to be good.
Thank you, Teresa.
Well, she's
I
back.
like where your head's at.
And thank you, Teresa. And if any of you guys want to be just like the cheese lady and give us feedback every week, you can do that too. You just can go to livefromthedutchhall@gmail.com, give us an email. You can go to Live from the Dutch Hall's page on Facebook, Dutch Hall on Twitter, Dutch Hall on Instagram, Dutch Hall on Snapchat, Dutch Hall on LinkedIn, Dutch Hall on Quora,
They fucking get it.
Etc.
etc.
I think they got it.
Who's that? LA woman.
Weird.
Oh, it's last week's show plan. Okay.
Yeah, awesome.
I apologize.
Are we recording this one?
Yeah, I am recording. I think I am. Oh, it seems like the life really went out of the room. Did everyone leave?
No, we're okay.
The guests and everyone? Well, now that's it for feedback. We got feedback. Let's call it a day. The next thing we got to do is talk about this fucking weekend, boys.
Hey-o.
Okay, so my promise to everyone was that we were going to make something memorable happen, right? That's what we said.
Yeah.
Now, we said we used an example of cartwheels. And then naked cartwheels, topless, bottomless.
Starting
Banana.
Bottomless with a banana in the butt.
yeah.
You know, it went like that.
You gotta start
It
with
went like
something.
that, right? And that was just an example of how it could go on the weekend. Okay? Charles and I show up. We get into our hotel. Beautiful place, right?
It was a real nice place.
Real nice place. We met a real nice cab driver. And
Lyft or cab?
Lyft.
Yeah, it was a lift.
I went left. And then we get to the Dave goes Uber.
Oh, Dave's an Uber.
Yeah, Dave goes Uber, I go left, eh? That's
Yeah.
what we did.
It's all right. Test it out.
It was
against
nice.
Each
It
other.
was nice to mix it up.
Yeah, because sometimes they have like Uber lots, so then it was better to have an Uber.
There you go.
Other times you had to like, anyways, sometimes you can just get in somebody else's Uber and say you're that guy. They're like, hey, Frederico, and you're like, yeah. And then you just go in, they drop you off halfway across town. That's what happened to me.
And then you spend an hour hoping not to get stabbed, walking back to your hotel
Good times.
with your friends really worried.
Yeah, they called me like every 10 seconds to make sure I wasn't stabbed, and I was like, just let me walk, for fuck's sakes. I'm going on a nice nighttime walk in a strange city. Christ, we're in like...
We get there. Our Lyft driver was awesome, and we're going to the hotel. And I said, you know what? We're in Atlanta. What you got any advice? You live here. What's some advice? And the one piece of advice she gave us was, whatever you do when you're drunk, don't walk around alone. Stay together, because you're gonna get robbed and stabbed.
Working pass.
That's what she said.
Yeah, that's what she said. There's a bit Robbie and Stabby in certain parts of town.
Stuck in my head.
That'll get you.
Yeah, so anyways, that was true, and I did get dropped off quite far from my hotel because I said, no, my hotel's right around here. I'm sure I'm in this neighborhood. And then I wasn't. I was way in the other part. But it was still Midtown, though. Like, it was still, like, a nice part of town.
Yeah, sure it was.
Anyways, it was fine. It was fine.
You made it.
I had
That's
a
what's
nice trot home. Nice trot home. Let me clear my head a little bit from the evening I had on Cinco de Mayo, which was kind of the highlight. Because I think it was. Friday night was just like settling in. We went to the concert. We had a nice time. We drank some beers.
Yeah. Saw David Byrne. Awesome show.
Oh, yeah. David Byrne from Talking Heads.
Yeah.
Excellent.
11,
it was terrific.
11 people on stage, and all of them were mobile. Even the drummers were wearing their drums. The keyboard player was wearing his keyboard, and they were all dancing and all wearing the same gray suits. It was a real performance. It was great.
Yeah, it was good. And he played a lot of old Talking Head stuff and stuff,
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Like, it was
Good
good.
fun. That's good fun.
It was real good.
And then we watched Jack White, right?
And
Yeah.
Jack White was kick-ass.
Oh, yeah.
As always, yeah. He was
Yeah.
great.
Blew it out of the park.
Yeah, it was great, and nailed it. And so we had a good night. It was a good night for like an opener or whatever. I don't
Shut her
know
down
what-
about 4 a.m. I think. When I look at my like sleep, my phone gives me my like sleep stats
Yeah,
afterwards. They were
yeah.
all fucked up for the whole
Your
weekend.
chart.
Shut her down about 4 a.m.
You can
the
chart
graph,
y-
the sleep
you-
graph.
I found out like I think you can chart your movement on your like phone, like so you can find out where you were that night, and you can look at your path like on the GPS, which is what I really would like to do
Oh,
on
yeah.
that Saturday night because I am still
Just a big circle.
yeah, I don't know how I did it, but
the downward spiral.
I know that Friday night I
Forward.
looked at the Uber map and we went like halfway to the airport and then back into the city. When you look at the
Oh,
Uber
yeah.
map, yeah.
oh yeah.
I think I put in the wrong address or something.
Oh, I don't know what happened. But anyways, that's Saturday. Friday. So Saturday we wake up, and it's like bright and early. We wake up, and the Barry Mansion girls got mimosas by the pool for us, right?
Oh, yeah.
This is Saturday morning.
Yeah, bright and early.
Saturday
that's
morning.
delightful.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a nice late evening. We wake up, we're feeling a little foggy, but not too bad. We go down to the hot tub and the swimming pool.
Yeah, you can
And,
see it out our window. You can
yeah.
see the hot tub 18 floors down or whatever. We're like, that's where we got to be.
Sounds like fun.
Go
Blow
down
out
to
the
hot
cobwebs.
tub, have some orange juice and champagne, and we're just we realize that we're breaking a lot of the rules down there that are on the sign, right? So
Yeah.
I decided let's break them all. And one of them says, don't use these 2 wheelchair lifts to like put.
You
Put
can lower
your-
someone in the pool
You
with
can
it.
lower a person in the pool that's like an invalid or whatever, and they go from the lift. Like they'll take you off your wheelchair and they'll lower or the hot tub, either one. I was like, Cheddars, put me in the pool, right? So I sit on the chair, and he's like, I'm like slowly like being, but you couldn't lower me.
Yeah, it
so I was
wasn't
just
working.
dangling over the water.
But you're still smoking cigarettes and drinking out of glass bottles.
Yeah, I have a glass.
Right
smoking
over a
cigarettes,
pool.
Right over the pool. I'm breaking those 3 rules at least. I'm doing my part. Is what I
Trying to
was
break
saying.
the fourth.
Anyway, that's what we did, and then we decided, you know what? It's Cinco de Mayo. The idea came to us, so we decided let's go to a Mexican restaurant of some sort and decide to have lunch.
Oh, you're missing a key point where we
Oh,
were
what?
like, meet you upstairs in 10 minutes for tequila shots at like 10 a.m.
Oh yeah, 10. That's to get us ready for the restaurant.
just to get prepped.
Just makes sense.
Yeah, and then we go to the Mexican restaurant and order a couple pitchers of margaritas, because why not, right?
Cinco de Mayo.
And I meet the 2 nicest African American ladies I've ever met in my whole life. Probably one in her early 50s, the other one in her mid 40s, probably. A couple of just like fantastic gals, right? I had a nice conversation with them, gave them both a nice warm hug at the end.
Delightful.
The one wanted to take me home in her pocket, she said, which I thought was a very nice compliment. Enjoyed my time in that restaurant, but I don't remember leaving very much. And then what happened was we went to the concert then, right?
Right from there.
Now, the entire concert from this point on, in my recollection, Dave, and I can use your help for any of this, if you can help me with it,
Yeah.
is I do remember bits and pieces. They're coming together over time, it's brown spots, it's brown spots. So I do remember we met a girl from the same town as one of the Barry Mansion girls. That I remember. That was the same night, right?
Yeah, fifth wheel, I like to call her.
Yeah, fifth wheel. Old fifth wheel. And
Ruined it.
she was a nurse from the same town as one of the Barry Mansion girls. So I thought they'd become fast friends. You guys are now best friends.
Yeah.
And it turns out, no, they don't like when we meet girls. They like when we meet boys, and then they can hit on the boys, right?
Oh, I see.
But they don't like when we meet girls.
And I really believe they were protecting us. They were protecting our
Our wives, because
Yeah,
they knew that they were going to
absolutely.
keep
They were
up.
very worried about our wives the whole time.
It's nice
They-
of them.
Yeah.
Well, I got to tell you, they were, for the most part, gentle women.
Oh,
They,
yeah.
they were respectful, platonic. They did
Yep.
all the right things to keep our marriages intact.
Partied hard, though.
But God, those girls can drink booze.
Holy fuck.
They can pound booze.
Me and Pete
I'm-
could go to the store and we buy a 12-pack each. We think we're on top of this, right? And they call us up to their room, and their whole dresser is just full of booze, like 2 bottles of Patron. I don't even know what they had there. Tito's vodka.
Oh, fuck.
It was just left to right. Red Bull everywhere.
Well, we met them drinking moonshine, didn't we?
Yeah.
Pete, initially, so that makes sense.
Oh, these girls can booze, man. And,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah,
tell you,
no joke.
it's not like they were like, we had to take care of them because they were drunk and we were like they were because we were going drink for drink the whole night, and they were just as
No
drunk.
big
They were
deal.
like, I think I was probably drunker than any of you.
Oh, yeah.
because
was,
I
for
don't
sure.
I don't
I was
remember a
drunk.
goddamn thing. Right? I remember that. I remember bits of concerts, and then I remember it was kind of in and out for the rest of the night, you know.
Yeah.
And then I kept saying to charters. Then I took the wrong lift home. I ended up with like a shared lift, so there was me and other people. And then they kept going, "Are you Mike?" And I go, "No, I'm Pete." And I go, "Oh, you're not supposed to be in here." And I'm like, "Well, I'm in here." And they go, then they're
Deal
like,
with it.
and they go, "Well, we're taking these people here." I'm like, that sounds really good. That's really close to where I am, I think. And it wasn't. And then I walked from there. And then so they got all worried. That's how we come back to it. Then we go to the hotel room. They're, "Where were you?" I'm like, I don't know. I think I was on stage with Cake. Is what I said. I keep having on this walk this memory of me being on stage with Cake. I remember having a great time on stage with Cake. But then I was like, that sounds ridiculous, right? So then I was like, I asked charters when I get to the hotel. I said, I think I was on stage with Cake. Charters like, I watched the whole show. I didn't see you.
That's right.
And then one of the girls says, I thought I saw you up there, right? Like that. And then I'm like, I don't know. We didn't think much of it, right?
Yeah.
Then the next day.
Till Sunday, yeah. And all of a sudden you're like, fuck charters, look at this. We're going through our pictures. Here's
then
me.
I'm
Yeah,
right on fucking
yeah.
stage.
You had a video of Cake from the back.
Yeah, like almost touching
Right on
them.
stage, yeah.
Crazy.
And then
I don't know how you were able to record a video in your frame of mind.
all I knew is I had no hat on, but I didn't lose my hat. Like I was, because now I have video evidence. Steve the Rockin' German told me, go on YouTube, because if you're on stage doing that, there's probably someone else in the crowd facing the stage where you are, so they'll get you doing your shit. And now there's hundreds of them. You go like, you go Cake, short skirt, long jacket, shaky knees, 2018, and watch for a guy in the red shirt in the back. That's Pete. That's Pete Van Dyke rocking out, blackout drunk, and no memory of how he got behind the stage. But I was behind there, sure as shit, with all the VIP people who have things around their neck, which I do not have. And then I remember, you can see me talking to everyone back there, too. Like, if you watch it real close, I've watched it over and over again. I even show my kids, because I'm like, can you believe what your dad did? I don't recommend drinking irresponsibly, but cool shit happens when you do. That's all I'm saying. Like, maybe it's just me, but every time I've gotten real wasted, like, I stopped drinking like that. Like, I have occasional beers on Thursdays with you guys, but even when I cousins sing, I barely drink, you know?
That was over the top that day, man.
This time I'm like, I'm going to drink, and holy shit. And then what?
Awesome time.
Yeah, everything happened great. I'm like, I know why now. It's because of the horrible sickness that follows for the next week. Because I'm old now.
I drink a lot, and I have never drank that much, I don't think, in my whole life. And I'm still kind of fucked up from it, to be honest. All week.
Full week recovery.
Yeah.
That's a good
I've
one.
never been this hungover, ever.
Oh, yeah, I've been shitting blood ever since. I think this is my life
It's
now.
a big night.
That was awesome.
Yeah, no, it was terrible. It was great and terrible at the same time. But if you look at the video, at the one point in the song, I'm enjoying the song. I'm rocking out. I'm in my place behind the barrier in VIP. Behind the barrier in VIP. Then he starts to riff with the crowd and starts to talk about we're free or something like that. I kind of remember this in the back of my mind. And I remember like talking to the guy beside me in the dark shirt, and I said, look at all that space behind the band. I said, I'm pretty sure I could dance just out there. Like, let's go dance right out there. And then the guy's like, no, don't do that. and then I just, at that point in time, I think the only thing I said to people is, no, don't worry, I got this. No, don't worry, I got this. So you see at one point in time, I just jump the rail, and I just go behind onto the regular stage with my cell phone. I'm filming the full stage. And then people are yelling at me, you know, because I wasn't supposed to do that. And then I just keep turning around telling them, no, I got this. And what that does is it stuns them for a bit. It stuns them.
Maybe he does got it.
Does he have it? Is he supposed to be doing this? Mind you, I am not wearing any identification like everyone else, and I am just wearing a red T-shirt that says booze, tobacco, dope, pussy, cars. That's what it says on it. That's what I'm wearing. And they're like, he might have this. Because a number of times I turned back to him and I told him again, like, no, I got it. Right? But I never, like, I waited till the song was over before I went back. And I could see when I'm going back, I'm jumping over again. I'm going like, no. I was good, you know, like that. I told you it'd be good. I was good. But I don't know what happened. The whole time when I'm watching it on my phone, my heart's stopping, like the next day. Because I showed you the one, and then I found another one even closer where I jumped the rail, and I'm like, holy shit. And I keep watching me jump the rail, and I'm like, it's all on my phone. And I'm like, I'm eventually going to get, like, tackled and the shit beat out of me. But then I was thinking, like, I'd remember getting the shit beat out of me, right? Like,
Yeah, you would remember.
I'd have some marks or bruises or something. But nothing. Everything turned out great. It all just worked out. I totally, like, just ignored every rule in the park for that period. Kevin, you've worked at festivals. You told me this, right?
Yeah, I'm still like, how the fuck did you get back there?
Like, there's sound. Like, there's a million people. This is a big professional
You've got-
festival.
and where they are VIP-wise for that kind of a VIP section, that's VIP for, like, friends of the band, crew of the band,
yeah.
people with the band and the stage techs and the lighting crew and the monitor crew and all of these crews. That's who were there. That's
yeah.
no like audience members.
The real people.
That is like side stage over there. And I'm still. It flashes me back to what was it, V-Fest in Toronto Islands when Oasis played and.
Oh yeah, the guy
Noel
jumped on
got
stage.
Tackled.
Yeah,
So I was
yeah.
right on the fence for that.
Oh really?
And you were basically that guy.
Yeah.
right
If
there.
I was a psycho, yeah, like I could have.
You could have done it.
Like that's what I mean. They should have
It's
by
crazy.
all. Like I watched it like a bunch of times.
No badge, no nothing. Like
No, and I
that's
saw
awesome.
the guy. I thought I must have traded my hat for a badge. That's what I saw when I saw I wasn't wearing my hat, because I didn't lose my hat, and I.
Did you have some bills on you that you were like?
I
giving
definitely
away
had no
or-
cash, man. I had no
Oh, man.
cash. I am so goddamn cheap. I don't care how drunk I am. There's no way I would
Like
pay
you,
money
You
to do
bump
it.
one cable.
I think you must have just walked
Lights
walked
out.
in there like you own the place.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
Not caring. at
Wearing
all.
a Booze Tobacco Dope Pussy Car shirt and just owned it.
I got
And I'm
this.
pretty sure what happened was I was because I do remember watching the show from the crowd, like with the rubes, like charters.
the peasants.
But I remember I was out there watching it, and I think I had to go to the washroom. And I think what happened was I went to the washroom, and on the way back I just walked into that, because there was a VIP tunnel, right by the side.
yeah.
And I think that's what I did. I just walked the wrong way, and I just,
Oh,
Ended up
look at
on
this.
stage.
and then I'm like,
here.
I think I'm on stage. I think, because I do remember being very surprised that I was on stage. Like, I don't think I tried to get on stage. I think I mistakenly went to the stage.
Chart, you didn't see him at all, eh, Dave?
No, but I was kind of on the. I have
The
glimpses
wrong
of being
angle?
on the left side, like the
Right.
same side he was on, so I didn't have that view.
Did you see it since? Have you gone on YouTube
yeah,
and
I've seen it. Yeah.
When I
It's
jumped the
definitely you.
rail, even at this time, you can see in that one video that clearly that is me,
100%.
and I was not supposed to be
I
there.
couldn't find you, because I was. That whole night's gray for me too, and there's little glimpses that come back once in a while. But I remember the cake, and I remember leaving early from cake because I wanted to be up front for Queens, because Queens was, they did 1 hour on each show, and Queens was next.
Right.
Like, I got to be up front for Queens. And then I remember trying to find you guys, but I couldn't. And then I'm like, I'm just Renegade now.
Yeah,
And,
I was renegade the whole night.
And then at some point, the show was over, and I remember, like, everyone was leaving, and I'm like, I can't navigate through this on my own. Like, I'm so fucking wasted. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm like, I feel like I'm going to, like, start going in a spiral and then just lay down and not be able to get up. One of those. Does that ever happen to you?
Just like dig yourself into the ground.
Yeah. And then I have this vivid memory that comes to me of this black dude there who I see him, and I have to, like, go around him, and he's like, why you got to cut in front of me, motherfucker? Like, right in my face. And I was just head down like, I don't know why, man. Just don't fucking kill me.
Trying to make it back.
So I called Charters. I'm like, hey, Charters, where are you right now? Because I'm waiting for my lift or whatever. And I'm like, where are you right now? And he's like, I don't know, man. Like that. And I go, I'm going like, seriously, like, look up in the fucking sky and look at what buildings you see and tell me what's written on them, Because I'm looking up and I
You're
can
asking
see.
for, like, a landmark.
Yeah, just tell me what you see, and then I'll just see if I can find where you are from that, And he's like, there's nothing, man. There's nothing.
Space.
It's just space.
I'm by the tree.
I'm by the tree. That's what he said. He says he's by the tree. The tree. I said, that helped me out, man.
There's only one in Atlanta.
See you at the hotel, man.
So is Cake the last band on that stage?
On that stage, yeah.
Okay.
And then
okay.
Queens.
And
were
then Queens was the last band.
And how
on
are
the
they,
other
Dave?
stage.
Oh, they fucking killed it. It was awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Super
From what I
Dog again?
remember. Yeah. super loud.
Like your ears hurt the next
My
day?
ears didn't ring like
No?
like they did in Toronto, no, but just a great. I just remember it being like I can't believe they're doing it. There was one part where I remember we were in the song, and then it like they're jamming for a bit, but then it was like silent, and you could almost the crowd was silent too, and the stage was dark, and it seemed like forever, like everyone's lighting a smoke, and then all of a sudden, boom! It's like full lights and full sound again, and they're in the same song still, like yeah, that really blew my mind.
That's good that you remember that though, because like
Yeah.
I
That was my
remember-
perception.
I
It's
remember
probably
lights and-
totally different than
I
everyone
remember
else's.
lights and
Yeah, but you
shades.
remember something.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was so terrible.
lights and shades. You remember?
Yeah, that's about it. I know I was renegade. Like as soon as I get into a certain amount of drunkenness, and I do not want to sit around. I want to wander. Like I'm a wanderer.
Yeah.
And I love wandering, drunken by myself. And I cannot believe I've not been stabbed or killed yet. It really is because I just love, and I've never gotten in any trouble in my whole life. I've only had the best times in my life wandering. That's the truth.
Well, I think you're obviously when you're at that point, maybe something that runs in our family too. That like you're happy, like you're not an asshole.
No.
You know what I mean? Obviously, or else like you would be fucking thrown right out.
No, you can see me. You can see me in the VIP area talking to everyone, and people are laughing,
You're a good
enjoying
person
themselves.
when you're that-
They're like we're having a good time together.
Right.
And then you're like, how am I doing this? Because the regular me, sober me, can't do that.
Right.
He would be like, I'd be freaking out. I'd be like,
Thinking it.
yeah,
about it too
overthinking it,
much,
right?
yeah.
And I'm sitting there just like, socially, everyone's enjoying our time with me. And then I even broke the rules, and they gave me enough leeway because they trusted I wasn't a bad guy. And I'm blackout drunk. I don't even know what I'm doing. It's
crazy.
That is the craziest thing. I got to put a camera on me so I can learn what I'm doing when I'm really wasted, because I think that's the best me.
Try to do that day to day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't want to become an alcoholic and stuff.
You just want to be able to remember it and not have the hangover, but still have them.
Know how to behave like that. Yeah, like how to get that much fun into
Yeah.
your life.
It's tough, man.
It sure is fun, man. Jay and I did it in Vegas too, where I just got super hammered drunk, like for like 2 or 3 days, and the most crazy shit happened. Like it was like stuff we couldn't even believe, just because we got super wasted and just.
Yeah, I think that's what it is that you just don't care.
Yeah.
You're not thinking about anything except for having fun.
You're more open-minded, right?
Right.
Like,
This is my
doesn't
favorite.
matter.
My favorite thing about last week's show was that it wasn't even on the show. It was when Mike was asking us advice about where to book his honeymoon, and then he was like, "Very serious as the day is
I
long."
was because
And he goes like, "Because I'm really looking for a city that would help me fulfill my one true love, day drinking."
yeah.
we were thinking of you on Cinco de Mayo because we were super day drunk.
I fucking
Yeah,
love day drinking.
I was like, I get what Mike's talking about on that Cinco de Mayo day. I'm like, this day drinking thing is fucking fun.
Like,
man.
and everybody's attitude when you're day drinking is the best.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, we're doing this at, like, when did you guys have that shot? 10 in the morning?
Yeah, yeah.
Fuck
And then
yeah.
at lunch at the restaurant, like everyone there is also day drinking.
Yeah.
You're
Like,
meeting
that's
all
what-
kinds of people.
You're not normally doing
Oh,
that,
man.
so
No.
it's like when you're doing that, you're like, this is the fucking best.
Oh, yeah.
And we made friends with every table in that restaurant, man. And even on the deck when we'd have cigarettes, there was more friends out
Because
there.
everybody's in a good mood, right?
Yeah, we just had a blast. And Atlanta as a city is great. The people, I never met anyone I
Yeah.
didn't like
All
there.
the people were great.
Yeah, fantastic. And it's a terrific city. I love it. I recommend it to anyone that wants to go visit it. And LA too. I had 2 great experiences in a row. Can't even.
And how about Shaky Knees as a festival, like well put together?
Perfect.
Excellent.
100%,
You
I'd go
back?
again, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
awesome.
100% I'd go
Awesome.
back, yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like it was.
They really
pretty
took care of you.
well done.
Pete lost his credit card
Yeah.
on the Sunday, and we're like not in very good shape, and he's starting to freak out a bit. And we're like, we start retracing our steps, we'll never find it. We asked a couple people, they're like, go to this place where you get your tickets, and ask them. So we go there, and he's like,
On the way there, we see a lost and found, though. We saw an actual lost and found on the way to the ticket place because we see
Oh,
the
yeah,
ticket
yeah.
place and we're like, oh, it's right up there. We'll go to the ticket place. And then beside it, there's something that says lost and found. So I'll go ask there. And they're like,
No.
what's your name? And I go, Pete Van Dyke. And they go, oh, yeah, we got yours. I remember your name.
Fuck off.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
they just knew it. They pull it out and hand it back to me.
So somebody there picked it up and walked it over to someone and said, someone lost this.
Just good.
At a
vibes.
music festival,
That's
right?
fucking
Yeah.
unbelievable. Awesome.
That's what I
so
even
awesome.
think about that cake incident. I think the reason I got away with that is because there were such good vibes there.
Yeah.
There was no bullshit.
Yeah.
Like even the ones that were fucking around, they were like, it was funny, man. Like the people that were like being total over the top, they were like hilarious.
Right.
It wasn't It wasn't. There's no ill will at all.
Yeah,
like
they're
it was.
not being mean. They're just over the top.
Yeah, and you know what? When as many people that were there and as many shows as we saw, everyone gave you room. Everybody was like
Yep.
nice. Like
true.
it was.
And
It was
did-
a great show, man.
Did you feel like the bands noticed that and performed to that? You know what I mean? Like they're like, this is
Yeah, they knew it was. I think they didn't seem like they were bitching about the festival
Right,
at
like
all. And the
they
crowd
all
was,
had a
and
good
nobody
time,
was
too.
complaining about the crowd.
yeah, nice.
Yeah, like Tenacious D had a great time. I know that.
Oh yeah.
But that was a fun show, man. Tenacious D was our last show. Charles and I are both so sick on Sunday. We're just like sick the whole day. We go there in the morning. We watch like every single band. That's
Yeah, we
there.
saw more bands Sunday than probably the
Oh,
other 2 days.
we
Who's
watched-
bigger, Jack Black or Kyle Glass now, eh?
Oh, it's
awesome.
close, man. They're both like
He's
a
put
couple-
on some LBs.
Oh yeah, Kyle Gass got a big white beard now
It's
too.
awesome.
Yeah, and the whole show was kick ass. That whole because the people all knew all the songs. There was two guys dressed like the devil.
Oh,
They were all
they're the
painted
best.
red. They had horns and they had like fur pants
In
on.
the crowd?
Yeah, they were body surfing the
Painted
whole show.
completely red, and then both wearing the brown like devil pants.
And they're both just
that's
body
great.
surfing the whole show near the stage. Two devils. It was like it was crazy fun. Like the whole and people all singing all the dirty words and stuff. Like it was great.
And were the Barbie girls right in? Like they were right into the concert. They loved it.
Yeah, but no, they were maybe, but they weren't into the music like Dave and I were.
That's
I
what
didn't
I-
think
they
as
weren't-
much.
They
Not
said
quite
Cake
as
was their
much.
favorite show, and they left Queens of the Stone Age before.
That's not for them.
yeah.
Understandable. Yeah.
And they didn't. They didn't stay Sunday. It was only me and Charters.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
we just had a 2-day date,
Yeah.
and then Charters and me were just like looking for shade all day, and then
a
like
place to lay down.
trying to figure out what could, and then finally we found Ford had this thing where you could go and sit on a pillow while you charged your phone. And again, I didn't like sign up for nothing like you're supposed to. Did you?
Yeah, I signed up.
Yeah, I didn't. I just sat on the fucking pillow and looked at people like, if you talk to me, I'll kill you. And then nobody talked to me
You
at all.
weren't, you weren't so friendly.
I
that
sat on
day.
the pillow in the shade, and I was just like, I'm waiting for Tenacious D. It's like, as
Oh,
soon
yeah.
as that show was done, I was like, let's get back to bed. Like, fucking right now, I'm dying.
You know what else they had there? They had a trailer, like one of those silver. What do you call
Like
those
a
camping
Airstream?
trailers? It's like
Yeah.
an Airstream trailer, and they were giving out B12 intravenous vitamins.
That seems like it's
I think those are
everywhere now.
mandatory at
Yeah.
concerts now. Yeah.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Like intravenous. There was some guy in
'Cause
Scrubs
people
there. Like,
do what you guys did and need to survive.
yeah, we
We
didn't do it.
should've-
I was kind of scared, but maybe we should have.
We should have done it. I was a great. My only regret is not getting an interview shot from
That's-
someone in a
Like,
trailer.
people are like, I wouldn't do that. I'm like, fuck. I would if that would cure that hangover that you guys had.
yeah,
I'm in.
I would have done anything for it.
Fuck
Yeah.
yeah.
Next time.
Yeah, I don't know. Next time I'll take like 50, like
Give
as
me
many
double.
as you can give me. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever takes us away.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta pee so bad. Should we just end the show?
Yeah, I got a pee too.
Yeah, you want to just do that? We'll just do it. End the show. All right. We want to thank Nathan Perrott and Ryan Vandenbush for coming and being our guests on today's show.
Yep.
We'd also like to thank all of our listeners, not only for providing feedback, which is awesome, but also for being just the greatest listeners in the world. We couldn't be happier to have you guys. So thank you. Tell your friends and keep supporting our show. We love you. Until then, we will see you NT. See you next Thursday.
That make you all warm and fuzzy.
And to anyone who's watching at home, this is the point in time where we shut off the program, right? So I have to hit this button called stop streaming.
She go.